The US and China apparently agreeing to yet another tariff armistice, and that will reportedly see China resume exports of critical materials to the US. Let's get more from Greg Valliere, Chief US Policy Strategist at AGF Investments. Greg, great to see you, and thanks very much indeed for joining us. What is your take? Are we just going to, do you think, get stop-start partial deals between the US and China for the foreseeable future?
Well, good to see you, Andrew. I think that this will drag on probably through the summer, but all of the signs are looking pretty good. Canada is negotiating in very good faith with other countries, and that looks good. U.S.-China doesn't look as grim as it did a few weeks ago. So I think as we get toward the end of the summer, maybe we won't be finished, but I think we're going to continue to make progress.
How does that change, or does it, your equity strategy right now? Are there types of stocks that you're avoiding, for example?
No, I don't follow stocks, but I would say for the market in general, there are other big issues. An effort to get rid of Jerome Powell, an effort to get a huge tax increase, this big, beautiful bill that I think is going nowhere, unrest, urban unrest in much of the U.S. So there are a lot of other stories, not just trade, that I think the markets have to be worried about.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it? The big, beautiful bill, as you know, is threatening taxes on foreign investors if they invest in America.
Yeah, the so-called revenge tax, I guess they call it. Yeah, that still is on the table. This is a good example of all of the details that still have to be ironed out. I would say Mr. Carney, I think, had an astute move when he basically said, I'm going to contribute more for defense, more for NATO. I think that was a signal to U.S. Trading partners and Canadian trading partners that we're serious about getting this done.
The Ukraine, as predicted, Vladimir Putin in Moscow launched revenge attacks on Ukraine. Keep hearing this revenge word. Any thoughts there? I mean, this tragedy has been going on too long, obviously.
Yeah, I would say, Andrew, there's three big geopolitical stories. One is looking a little better. That's U.S.-China. One that still looks really difficult, U.S.-Russia. And then the third one is an imminent problem, and that is Israel-Iran. I think we're close to having Netanyahu run out of patience, and he may attack the Iranian nuclear production facilities. So there are still a lot of geopolitical issues, again, in addition to trade, that I think we're going to have to worry about this summer.
What about this fear we're hearing over the big debt load of the U.S. government and other G10 countries or G7 countries? That's another story that won't go away, apparently. How much appetite for American government debt does the market have?
That's a huge issue. Very good question. I think that it's becoming clear that the U.S. is not going to be able to reduce our annual deficit. In this fiscal year, it'll be well over $1 trillion. Total U.S. debt is about $37 trillion. And when the politicians are asked to make some cuts, they refuse. They're chicken. And I think that's going to be a big problem as we fail to do what has to be done on the budget.
Yeah, it is interesting. The demographics presumably is going to become a bigger and bigger issue because, of course, some of the government spending is bigger benefits, medical and otherwise, for older people. And then we hear about countries like South Korea with, it's not the only one, with such low birth rates that they're in danger of vanishing or shrinking radically in a couple of generations.
Who would have thought a few decades ago that a big problem would be a birth rate that was too modest, and I think that is going to be a big problem. Revenues are crucial here. We can cut spending, but revenues are crucial if you look at Social Security or Medicare or Medicaid, and the math does not look good for the U.S.
No, South Korea is now down to less than zero point 0.8 births per woman. And so you can see your population is going to start withering away within a generation or two. And it's not the only country. Europe, of course, and even China. I think that's fascinating. It's aging before it really became rich.
You're absolutely right. So the Chinese birth rate is one of several reasons why the Chinese economy is not in great shape.
Leave us with a final thought. Has there been a genuine pullback from owning U.S. assets because people can't predict what the administration will say and do next?
I think we have a lot of self-inflicted damage, especially during March and April, when we would say one thing in the morning and then another thing in the afternoon. There's still a lot of confusing signals, but it's still the U.S., and I still think that the U.S. economic fundamentals, while hardly great, are better than many countries.
Greg, we'd better jump. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Greg,
thank you.
Greg Valliere, Chief U.S. Policy Strategist at AGF Investments.